Welcome back to Walk It Off with Riley Anslinger, the podcast celebrating the incredible journeys and perseverance of women in sports. In our last episode, we talked about athletes who have faced injury and have had to make a comeback. As we reflect on the athletes who have faced setbacks, we now move on to episode 5, Breaking the Silence. In this upcoming episode, I will talk about the challenge most athletes have to face, mental health, and how they break through it. No matter who you are, athlete or not, always reach out and find help if you're struggling with mental health. One of the biggest, most recent stories involving mental health is the story of Katie Meier, a former Stanford goalkeeper. Stanford University star athlete Katie Meier was found dead inside her dorm room the morning after the university threatened her with expulsion, according to a wrongful death lawsuit filed last week and obtained by KRON4. A coroner ruled Meier's death a suicide after she was found dead on March 1st. The night before, on February 28th, she received a distressing email from Stanford's Office of Community Standards informing Meier that she was facing a formal disciplinary charge, according to the lawsuit filed on behalf of Meier's parents in Santa Clara County Superior Court. The charge stemmed from an incident in which Meier poured coffee on a football player after he kissed one of Meier's soccer teammates without consent, the suit states. States the article, Stanford University says it's not responsible for Katie Meier's death. Katie was one of the best goalies in the nation with many awards. She led her team to the NCAA Women's Soccer Championship in 2019. Another story I am going to share is my own personal story. I struggled with mental health my first year of college. I went to see a doctor and even a sports psychologist. The doctor put me on some medicine which ended up helping me a little bit in some way. Although I was on medications, I was never back to being 100% myself that year. I found myself always being upset about something, always being sad. I hated being away from my home and my family. I think that is one of the biggest reasons why I struggled my first year at Indiana University. After seeing the doctor and the sports psychologist for almost a year and having many conversations with my parents, I decided it was time to do what would improve my mental health and make me overall better, and that was to transfer home. I transferred to the University of Evansville in 2022, which would be my sophomore year, to continue my academic and soccer career. I got help from the doctors and had many good long meetings with my sports psychologist and my parents. I reached out and got help, and without them, I would not be the person I am today. There are many college and professional athletes who struggle with mental illness. Mental illness affects everything you do in your life, whether that is sports, hanging out with people you love, and even academics. You are not the only one. There are many resources, such as the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the NAMI, that educate people on mental illness, how to be mentally healthy, where to go for help, and how to support those around you. Also, do not be afraid to talk to others about mental health. It is good to ask questions, and there are so many people who are desperate for someone to just listen to them without judgment, states the article, The Invisible Opponent, Breaking the Silence on Mental Health.
This portion of our podcast is brought to you by Insert Your Name or Company Here. Crescent.evansville.edu receives over 1,000 new visitors a month, and during that time receives nearly 6,000 page views. Become part of the student media family and advertise with us on our website, crescent.evansville.edu, or let us highlight you right here on this podcast and we'll talk about your business, product, and or service.
Thank you for joining us today in our short but impactful journey in breaking the silence of mental health. In this short episode, I have shared the story of Katie Meier, a former Stanford goalkeeper with many achievements. I also shared my personal story and how I fought through it, how I broke the silence. Everyone struggles and deals with their own problems on a day-to-day basis. Get help. Reach out. Seeking out help is the most important thing you can do that will help better your situation and make you better. Our journey continues, and in episode 6, we will talk about the life after professional sports. We will talk about how retired professional athletes live their life without their sport. We will describe the transition they have to make and highlight athletes who continue to inspire others, even after their professional careers. Thank you.